Alright, well, I'm Tusken, and this is my sister Kyme. You may also know us as She-King and Clawshot on FA, and on DeviantArt I'm known as Grizzled Dog. Clawshot is still the same on DA. And we're going to tell you about our Kansas City Rens Faire experience. This is a bit late, but it was last year. When last year?
It was like October.
September, October, that time frame. So, where should we start?
Okay, well, I guess we'll start on the first day when I came over, and I think I visited you for the first time.
Yes, Clawshot came over. We got everything together. Let's see.
Yeah, well, it was. I came on Friday, then Saturday. Saturday is when we went, and. Basically, like, we got up really early and we suited up at her house, and then I drove us to the fair, and I got my ticket, and we were waiting for the gates to open. And like when you enter, there's like an entrance, and they have like the royalty up there greeting you to come in. And like the king was like, he noticed us, and he was the king really liked us. Actually, they all did. They really enjoyed our suits. I don't think they've seen suitors like us over there. Oh, and I do remember one of my favorite parts. The princess, she was with the queen, and we were walking by and just looking around, and I saw the princess, and she was she was really happy to see me. And she had like a cup. What would you call it? A grail. She had a grail with water and a lollipop. And I go up to her. I take the grail out of her hand, and I pretend to sip out of it. Then I take her lollipop and shove it in my mouth. And she thought it was the funniest thing she's ever seen. I loved that part.
They loved us. We were very well-mannered werewolves.
Yeah.
The king was very thrilled to see that such a traditionally uncivilized creature was actually rather civilized and wanted to be well-mannered.
Oh yeah,
which we did.
We bowed like every time they came by.
Yes, we curtsied or bowed. Tusken's a big gal, so she kind of just does the bow. She's not really a girly girl. So, which was another thing. I kept getting called a guy.
Yeah, everyone thinks she's a girl because you had your big buff suit on.
Yeah, I was a buff bodysuit. I'm not right now, but I kind of downsized the suit because it was kind of hot last year. It wasn't as cold as it has been at the fair. So, but yeah, everybody thought I was a male werewolf and we were together or dating or something. So, yeah.
I was called either the girl or someone called me the mommy wolf, and I thought that was pretty funny. But yeah, the first time we went, it was just us two, and I have a friend who was working there. I got to see him a couple of times, and he had to play a character, and I got to meet his wife. It was and there was this other guy. I don't remember if he was a gypsy or just but we were trying to get pictures. These people wanted pictures, and this guy kept playing with my tail, and like I'm just trying to stay still and not turn around and get this guy. But then after we took the photo, I just turned right around and I chased him around for a little bit, and he thought that he lost me, but I was right behind him. He turns around, he's like, "Oh," and just runs off.
It was a lot of fun. I think, didn't we even see Red Riding Hood?
Oh, we did, and we tried to go get her. It was so funny. This girl who was like her protector, she had a bow and arrow, but without an arrow. So since she played along, and I pretended to be mauling her and just like slashing and biting, and then I was able to get to Red Riding Hood. But she was actually kind of, I think she really was a little bit scared of our costume, so I like didn't really get too close to her or touch her. Because that's, you know, like that's the costume courtesy, which we did. We did make sure to do that because people can mistake us for being staff, and we don't want to get anybody in trouble and make people complain to the staff.
But we had one of the staff come over and just kind of give us a heads up, like, hey, don't go around scaring people, don't go around spooking people.
Don't touch people.
Don't actually make physical contact with people. You know, they didn't want any trouble, and we don't want to misrepresent the park because we aren't part of the park. We are our own individual people, and we want the park to be able to keep letting us come back.
Right.
And other costume people in creature costumes.
Yeah, it was actually my first time to actually not only go to a Renaissance fair, but to also be suiting at one. And it was such a great experience because just every couple steps you take, you have to be stopped for a picture. Oh, there was this other part when one of the staff members, I think I followed you up there. There was a little balcony that regular people weren't allowed, just staff members, and they invited you to come up there, so I followed you. And as I sat down, this woman came up near the balcony, and she was like, because it's kind of a scenic spot. So you thought like they mistaken it for a photo shoot. So she's like, how much do I pay to get pictures with the wolves? And we're like, oh, no, it's free. You can come up here, because she wanted her kid to get a picture with us. So we just like sat in the scenic seats and like let them take a picture. It was just funny. But yeah, we actually talked to that staff member, and we talked to him about the furry fandom and our costumes.
He said him and his wife had seen furries before, and they were very interested in them, and they liked them. So we kind of gave them a little bit inside information about the furry fandom. And, we just we shared a common interest, which was very great. And I felt like a celebrity being on the back porch of their it was the back porch of a main show thing.
Like maybe a stage?
Yeah, it was the back porch of a stage. And I just felt so special being back there because they wanted us back there. They invited us up there. And I think Daniel was with us. Daniel, I'm part of the Star Wars Costuming Association, and this individual, he's a Sith in the Star Wars Costuming Association. Well, he's been going to Renaissance Fair since he was like 18. It's a tradition for him. So I actually ran into him there. I was with Clawshot. I think we ran into him. You had a little boy in your arms. And this little boy, he was a doll. He just loved her.
Oh, yes. We saw him earlier. And he seemed to he was okay with our suits. He didn't seem too scared. After we were trying to ask for high fives and kind of just play around. And then we needed to take a break, and you needed to take off your head. So we sat down at a bench, and the woman came back, and because the kid wanted to see me again, and so I was just sitting there, and I'm like, hi, and. She asks her son, she says, do you want to sit on the wolf's lap? And he's he nods. So I'm like, yeah, sure, that's fine. I'll let him sit on my lap. And so, he's just, sitting here, and he's just being such a good kid, and he keeps, trying to talk to me, and I don't want to ruin the magic, so I try to bark, arr, arr. I had to do a tiny bark. I didn't want to do, I couldn't really do any other bark. But yeah, he just really enjoyed it. He just sitting with me, and other people are walking by, and they're oh, and getting pictures. And there was another little kid trying to creep up just to check me out, but she was too scared.
He didn't seem too fazed about me not having my head on. He actually seemed to want to talk to my head.
Yeah.
Actually, I noticed he actually wanted to talk to my head, not me. So that was pretty interesting. He was a really bright little fart.
It was funny. And then the mom had to take him away because they were going to go home. And she picked him up. He was crying, and he was so upset. He didn't want to go. So it broke my heart a little bit. But
I think we had two kids that, I had one kid, it was near the end of the fair on the first day, I think, and I had done a little dance thing. I had tried to act cute and do a little jig with, which my character's really kind of she's kind of she's got a bad sour attitude, but you know, for the kids, sometimes you got to win them over. So that's what I did, and I actually made friends with him, and I made him laugh. Well, their parents had to go, and then he broke into tears because it was so sad, and it almost made me want to cry because I'm like, oh, you know, I made a friend, and then he has to leave. Yeah. But we had a great time.
There was when we went to the mermaid cage. The mermaid cage has you follow a path. And there's some places where you can get your photo taken. You can get a picture with a mermaid. And we got to halfway there, and I hear this little tiny voice, and then I turn around, and then all of a sudden the sweet little girl just has her arms around my knees, she was at knee level, and I'm trying, I could barely bend down, I'm just trying to pat her shoulder or something, because it was just so cute. This little girl loved us.
Yeah,
so
she did.
Much.
She was
not scared.
Yeah, she was not scared. I think we have a picture of her. Literally, she has your snout.
Yeah,
in her arm. She's
just
smothering you.
Head.
Yeah.
It was just so cute. She was such a sweet girl. I would have loved to just hang out with her the whole day. I just love kids that just show no fear. She didn't care one bit that my guts were hanging out.
Oh, how many people? Let's see. Let's get on the topic of what we got called. I think we got called cats at one point.
Yeah, definitely foxes.
Let's see. I got called a badger, and I don't see. Or I think I got called a koala at one point, which I could kind of see because Tusken has a big nose.
Yeah, but why would you see a koala?
I mean, I'm scary, I've got yellow eyes, I've got pointed ears, and, I mean, people, I don't know, people are weird when it comes to...
Yeah, they'll just name off any kind of animal off the top of their head.
If they can't think about it, so I don't know if it's laziness or people just don't know, they can't retrieve their information, or it's just people don't have to do that regularly, so when it comes time to recall, oh, what animal is this, they can't do it, so, I don't know. It's weird.
Oh, and how many times did people say, what does the fox say?
Oh my gosh, so many times.
Even his little kid, he's he was actually just talking to us, and then someone whispered to him, and then he asked, so they obviously put him up to it. He asked, what does the fox say? So we look at each other, and then we look back at him, and we just go, ding, 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 ding. We decided to just play along. Oh, and there was people got a kick out of this when we were hanging around with Daniel. There was a pathway. There was just a gush of water. I don't know where it came from, but I didn't want to step in it because it was going to be muddy. So I was Daniel. He was already ahead, and I was looking down, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to get ready to jump. So, but right before I had to take a leap, Daniel just has me picking me up like a toddler and puts me over the other side.
He actually did that to me too, and I'm heavier.
With all that weight.
Yeah, and Tusken's a heavy suit. She's built on tennis shoes. She's got a lot more foam padding than my Tauntaun does. And then it was a big bodysuit. So, and I'm maybe 135, 140 pounds on top of that, and he literally, it's like I was nothing. He picked me up and then sat me down. This giant werewolf. It was actually kind of funny.
Yeah.
And Daniel, I think his character, he was a vampire.
Yeah.
So when he found out, we kind of ran into him by accident, and he's like, oh, well, let's hang out for the rest of the day. And he was a blast.
Oh, he was. He was such a character.
He played his character well, and he do you want to pet me wolves?
Yeah, you want to pet me wolves? They don't bite, but I do.
And he would when we would take photos, he would pose and act like he was biting people's wrists.
Yeah,
he actually had vampire teeth in, so.
Yeah, really nice teeth too.
Yeah, he actually had people feeling them. He's like, no, go ahead and feel them.
Yeah.
So we were like his vampire day protectors, and he was our vampire daddy for a day. So.
Yeah. Oh, we're his bodyguards of the day, and he's ours of the night.
Yeah, he was a blast. I think he even liked us. He liked us so much. I think we get in under his doesn't
he have like season passes?
Yeah, he's got like a season pass thing going on. So he actually liked us so much. We're friends with him now, and I think he's going to let us get in under him from now on if we want to.
For free tickets.
Yeah, for free tickets. So
yeah,
it's all good. Werewolves got the love at this place. So
yeah. Oh, and one of my other favorite moments was when the Star Trek, the Trekkie Renaissance people.
Oh yeah, they were cool.
They were like in Star Trek getup in like Renaissance style, and it was so funny. And the one of them who was kind of like the Spock of the group, he had this little gadget, and he was just like using it on us and like trying to discover what life forms are in this realm. And he like does it on me. He's like, I don't think this one's alive or something.
Yeah, he's like, she seems to be dead. And they were in character too, and it was great. I was very impressed.
Oh yeah, they did a good job.
Yeah, they were in character. They literally played like they were on another planet in another time, and they were blending in, but they were still. It was pretty cool.
Oh, there was in one of the shops, the ones that had the little wood baby puppets.
Yeah.
This woman, I was walking in and looking around. And I think like this one kid, like he like did not like me at all, and like would like start crying, and like I kind of felt bad. But this lady, like, she goes up to me, she's like reassured me. She's like, no, like, I understand. Like, I love doing costume stuff like this, and sometimes you gotta make kids cry, but you just love it so much. You just like keep doing it, and like she totally understood. She was such a sweet lady, and I hope I get to see her again this year. Maybe she'll remember us.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there was this guy, he brought his big dog, and the dog had webbed toes.
Yes, he was a Newfoundland.
Yeah.
And Newfoundlands, or I like to call them Newfies, they are ship dogs, they're water dogs, and basically back in the 16, 17, 1800s, they would take these dogs on ships overseas, and if a sailor went overboard or somebody needed to be rescued, they had bred the dogs to be able to swim, and they would throw the dog overboard to save the sailor, and then they would, I think I asked him how they got the dog back on the ship, and he said they might have had a giant door built into the boat that would fall open so the dog could paddle to it and then get back on the ship. Or they would use a lift or something to lift the dog back out of the water.
Yeah.
But yeah, I forgot what his name was. He had the most amazing name. It was like Sir something. I don't know.
Sir barks a lot.
I don't know what it was, but it was a really cool, like, it fit the time period, but it was a very cool, very proper name for him. He was beautiful, though. He was a black Newfoundland.
Yeah, there were actually a lot of dogs there. One of them was, like, really interested in me, like, kept wanting to jump up and, like, smell me, and, like, he was like, what the heck are you? And he was a good boy, though. And, like, and that dog, like, we, like, see him, and then we walk for a while, and then he comes back, and she's like, I'm sorry, he just really wanted to see you again. And then, oh, yeah, and they usually have, like, the parade every day. And we just kind of like sit back and like we're waving at people and as they're walking by and like on their horses and everything. One of the horses was staring at me when they had to come to a halt, like because the parade, like they have to stop sometimes, and this horse was just staring at me like what is this thing? Should I be afraid? But the guy is like. He's like, come on, keep going. It's like for the poor horse. I
think I remember that. I was like, is there going to be a problem here? You know, it's like we didn't
want to spook the horse.
No, we didn't want to do that. Somebody could get hurt, but that was kind of funny though in a way.
Yeah, it